Hey, what's up, Internet? I'm here today with Bellhead.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Good. And you're all the way in Chicago.
We are. So yeah, you're in an island in Maine, so we are quite far apart from each other.
Just a
Probably
bit.
equally as cold and gloomy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, let's see, 35 here today. And
About the same here.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about the weather. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, let's start off with weather. Let's do it.
Wow. Oh, Mike, what are you doing? Cat interference. Anyway, so where did your band name come from?
Well, selecting a band name is always a treacherous thing, and we got real lucky because Duran Duran was taken, and then we had a song title, and Bell and Head separately, and then fused them together to make Bellhead. It's actually the title of a Liquid song, which is a band that doesn't use guitar as well, and in their song title it was Bell and Head separately and then together. Though in more recent reprints of the record, it's been fused as one. So I don't know, but yeah, that was the long and the short of it.
All right.
And yes, we understand that it does mean penis to some people, and we get it, and that was totally part of the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, like Velvet Underground. Yeah. No, they knew too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every now and again, somebody goes, "Did you know?"
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I like to throw them off. I'm like, yeah, I know. That means that we were part of the old, telephone company.
Yeah.
So
right. So, obviously, you play sort of like post-punky type music.
Yeah.
So what are the first bands you remember hearing that had that kind of a sound?
You want to do this one?
You can start.
There's this band called Magazine that big fan of. So the band the Buzzcocks. Well, the lead singer after the very first EP quits the Buzzcocks at the very beginning of punk rock and goes and starts the first they've got to be like one of the first post-punk bands.
Yeah.
And that's Magazine, and it just for my money, I don't know if they're the first, but they're probably like the most famous to using chorus on bass.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's where Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses got his chorus tone on bass.
Yeah.
Ministry covered them, whatnot, and that is like an inspiration for me. That song structure, their approach to things.
And I think for us as a band, we kind of got lumped into the post-punk genre, right? Even though we may not necessarily always sound like post-punk. So, we have post-punk, we have just straight up punk, we have industrial influences. There's a lot of goth, but you don't want to sit there and type out every single thing when you describe yourself as a band. So I think, we are influenced by the post-punk genre, like specifically again, like Magazine, but Ivan and I also come from, the 70s era, where it's David Bowie, it's Lou Reed, it's Iggy Pop,
and T-Rex, and glam rock. Yeah.
We actually really have a huge glam rock. That's kind of where we're originally from, right?
But it's also ridiculous to go, well, our sound can't be categorized. It's like, no, of course it can.
Yeah.
To make it simple for people. Give them something that's like, I can wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
When you're already confusing them with the idea that there's two basses.
Right. You don't want to make it harder.
But I mean, to some people, they're just like, I don't know, those have strings on it. What's the difference between a bass and a guitar?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So what made you, this is a little off, where I was going, but what made you decide to, not find a third person to play guitar or something like that and just do basses?
I mean,
Well, we were gonna.
We were going to, yeah. And I think, I don't know if there was a question about like the history of us later down the road, but maybe.
Yeah, but you know, we can just.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
It's fine.
So originally we were going to, and you know, kind of Ivan and I, you know, we've always kind of skated the same circles together. You know, we've always been in the, you know, the Chicago industrial scene is a very close knit thing. So
you say it like we're together, but it'd be more like, oh, it's you.
Yeah, great.
Right.
Hey, but then like also, you know, we play, and again, kind of answering this question of, you know, the origin of
Right.
Bellhead. We were in the same band at different times. So there was a band called Black Country Rock that Ivan was in with our mutual friend, Sheriff Scabs. And, you know,
bloody legend.
Yeah, he's a legend. So they performed together. That kind of disbanded many years later.
Mm-hmm.
I joined the band. And so it was this next iteration of Sheriff Scabs and Black Country Rock. Then I quit and moved away for a couple years. Ivan rejoined the band.
Yep.
And then I actually moved back into Chicago, and everyone's like, well, what are we going to do? And we're like,
it's fine.
Ivan's the bass player. Like, I'm not upset about this. It's fine. You know, you can keep going. And actually at one point we talked about like, hey, let's get together and do 2 bass players in this band. But so basically kind of, you know, Ivan and I have always talked about, man, we should do a project together at some point in time. And the universe aligned itself to be the right time. And, you know, Ivan's bandmate, Ivan is in a band called Mr. Russia, and it was a 2-piece. And so Ivan's bandmate was moving out to the East Coast. And I, for a very long time, was a gigger. Like I had 7 bands at one point in time.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, you know what? I say now that every band that Charles Levi didn't play bass in, I was playing bass in. God bless Charles. We love him so much. But I was in, you know, all of these bands, but none of them were my band. And so I was at a point where I'm like, I want my own music. I want my project. I want to do my thing. And, you know, so Ivan and I got together. There was a snowstorm in Chicago, and we were both off of work because this was kind of pre-pandemic where everyone could work from home and work from Zoom, and that wasn't set up. And I'm like, dude, snow day, want to come over? And so we he drove over before the snowstorm started, and we spent the whole day. I mean, we basically got totally drunk.
Oh yeah. We got hammered. We watched Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar, and we ate chicken shawarma.
Yeah, we hiked in the snow to get chicken shawarma at one point. And then we kept drinking, and then we at one point we passed out, and then we woke up, and then we put in Man Thing, which was like a sea level,
the Marvel movie that no one realizes
Marvel before Marvel existed. But to finally kind of answer your original question is, we were like, well, let's do a thing together. Let's be in a band. And so at one point during this drunken escapade, we're like, let's do an Alice Cooper tribute band.
We figured it out. We cracked the code.
This is what we're doing. And then it was like, well, and then okay, that's cool, but maybe we should do a band, and let's get a drummer, and then let's, you know, do something let's get some great, you know, young musicians and form a band. And I was like, it's so much work to deal with other people. And so that thought was there, but then we're like, well, we have the skills to do this. And Ivan has been in a 2-piece for a long time. And so he's kind of familiar with this territory. And, you know, the two of us have been doing this for so long separately that we know that we can make this work. Right. So it was just like, nope, it's the two of us. And since then it's been the two of us. Like we've had people ask, like, are you going to get a drummer? Do you want to have another person? Do you want to have a guest vocalist? And maybe the time will come someday, but for now, like, we enjoy it. this is our project. It's kind of us, and we
Right.
create this monster together.
I think we wandered off, but the
Yeah.
thing is that there was never a question that like, is one of you going to put down the bass to do something? It's like, no, you play bass, keep playing bass.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did develop a set of skills to play mid-high. I played in bands where there's no guitar player already.
Mhm.
And I played in a band, Mr. Russia, where it was bass, drums, and vocals. So I was already filling out the sound. Karen plays wonderfully, like root note low.
I'm a pocket bass player.
So okay, I can play around that.
Mhm.
The thing is the drunken power of going, well, we'll do this, we'll do that, and then fuck it, I'll do it. We'll just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All these decisions are made without us playing any music together. See, Karen and I have known each other, but we've never actually been in the same room working on music
Ever.
But the fact that we're lifers just means, well, we'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we made a lot of commitment just to each other going, well, we'll just do this.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was just okay, well, we'll just have it figured out, because the whole thing was that all other bands, are going to eventually break up. People are going to move on. Well, why don't we start something that's ours that will then be, we can put down, we can pick up, but it'll be there, and that was where other people will be the hindrance to that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Your fiance at the time, husband, Dave, he said something about lights and fog.
Yeah.
And
he said, I want lights and fog, and I want you to sound like Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine.
Right, yeah.
And that's it. This is what I see for you guys.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, okay.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Ned's Atomic Dustbin, but more fog and less people.
Because conceptually, we had no idea about sound. That came by just playing.
Yeah.
And the first time we're in the room, the first thing we write is the song Knife that's on the EP Unicorn Bones.
Mhm.
First day.
Yeah.
That happened. And it was like, okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
As if
It was all in, just all the chips right in.
And then it changed from there, because Karen didn't sing lead at all before.
Mhm.
That was me slowly pushing her into more and more vocal responsibility. It was like, sing a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there.
Bless you.
Over time, and figuring out how that would work. So the sound has evolved. The what we're comfortable doing.
Mhm.
I would say at this point, I wouldn't mind having guest musicians, but I think it would be having people who could do something that we can't.
Yeah.
Like play the saxophone.
Yeah.
That would be the kind of the skill, like it would be like,
right,
bringing in horns, something like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, how did each of you get into making music, in the first place? Are you self-taught on your basses, stuff like that? How'd you get into it?
I wasn't good at sports. And I wanted, it's one of those things where you gravitate towards, I don't know. It's like, do you remember learning to walk?
Mhm.
I was always drawing, writing, and music was always a thing. It's just, it was cracking the code.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you make music? Where does music come from? How do you, the barrier to entry was confusing to me, because it's like, well, you can sing, but how do you get into the radio?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Are they tiny people in there? And then it's just the struggle of like learning to work on music, which is just trying to figure out how to get an idea out of your head, or even, expanding on an idea that you have, where you have part of it, and yeah, I would say that
You're self-taught.
I'm self-disciplined.
Yeah.
But I didn't learn it all myself. I've learned from every every a sponge of music, every piece of information I can learn before me. So every musician that I've met that has anything that they can teach me, from make sure you always keep cab fare in your boot, to like how to coil a cable, because it's not all about the music itself. It's about the pieces that get you to the music, like
Right.
all the experiences in between, like and then it's reading articles or learning about software that then helps you get the music out, like there's so I think a lot of those components are really important, learning about listening to other music and dissecting it, learning from other people, learning from your bandmates,
Yeah. And I was classically trained. So I come from a different school of thought.
Okay.
So I mean, all through high school, I mean, even going back to grade school, the earliest I can remember, I was a performer, but I was a stage performer. So I was in theater, I was in musical theater. I was a theater minor. My intention at one point was that that's kind of the route that I was going to go for my creative career. And then, I got into the school orchestra. I was a band geek. So I did orchestra, and I played the cello. And I always wanted to play a stringed instrument. And I always thought cello's cool. Cello's a cool ass instrument. So that's kind of what I did. And then, I played that all through, through grade school, through junior high, and the beginning of high school. And then, when I was in high school, we were in a situation where there was no upright bass players in the orchestra. So, my teacher, looked at me and said, "Guess what you're doing?" And I'm like, "Guess I'm playing bass now." So I was literally just kind of like shoved the upright, and that's what I did. But
I've not heard this story before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was not. My intention was never to always play. I was just a happy cello player. But yeah, I mean, even I wasn't thinking about being in a rock and roll band, right? I was like, well, I'm gonna be on stage, and I'm gonna do musicals, and I'm gonna sing and dance, or I'm gonna be in the pit orchestra. And I think there was kind of a shift twofold, and I would say it was kind of David Bowie's Outside album helped kind of bridge that in. Although oddly enough, that's kind of like a musical in its own sense. But
Right.
But
I see that.
Very much got engrossed into Bowie, and then went down this rabbit hole of rock and roll. And then on top of that, doing music, doing theater, even as a young teenager, even before, I was already burnt out being typecast. Like, you're the mom, you're the quirky fat cousin, or you're the sidekick. I wasn't going to get the cool parts. I wasn't going to be the front person. And I'm like, that sucks. I don't want to do that. Like, I want to perform. So it kind of fizzled out, and then rock and roll jumped up from there.
Oh yeah.
Look, you learned something new about me today.
I don't know. Poverty's a shortcut to rock and roll. You just go right there. The idea of like an upright bass to me is just like, I'm like, oh, one day.
Look up at it.
Yeah.
No, they literally like, here you go, play the bass, figure it out.
That's cool. I know you briefly touched on earlier, so but Chicago has a really good music scene. Yeah, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chicago's always had a good music scene, and we have it's not just industrial or goth, like Chicago music in general. I mean,
well, what Chicago has? We have basements. So we have places in Chicago. We have coach houses, and we have basements, and we have warehouses, and we have all these places. So Chicago can breed places where people learn to be loud, the corners for them to hone a craft if they want to. So it's you don't just end up with tons of folk musicians, and then as people sequester themselves to work on this, they gossip, and they build their craft, and they build their network, and then than like spider eggs, bursting out of a cactus unleash on a given season. It's like, where did all of this come from? We rehearse, we can hear other bands playing, and it's just like, what is going on over there? And when will that erupt? So yeah, it's also competitive as fuck, which is healthy and unhealthy, because I always say, Jimi Hendrix would be on stage in Chicago and it would be, who's this guy? Because that is Chicago. But what it does, though, is it makes you like tough.
Makes you work harder.
So you hone. So then when you leave Chicago, you're like ready, and you just your show is to get. Well, I mean, I can only speak for us, really, but Chicago really kind of. If it's gonna work in Chicago, it's got to work in Chicago. If you're gonna win over an audience, because there's a lot of that arm cross standing there. Who do they think they are, playing songs that they wrote?
Yeah.
But I mean, Chicago in itself. I mean, we are definitely one of the homes of alternative music, right? Like we have the OG Wax Trax. We have, Martin kind of doing industrial music for a long time. We have we have amazing DJs that have been having, long-standing goth nights. We've had, sadly we lost a lot of our clubs, our specific goth community type clubs, but we still have great events. Every weekend there's something going on. Again, which is good and bad at the same time. We can get a little tired because our bars go to 4 a.m. So we can get pretty sleepy.
All right. So your last release, it looked like, was in 2023. Are you working on new stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you want to tell the world about
Thanks so much for coming to this interview. We'll see you later.
I'm surprised. I'm like, our last release was 2023, and I'm like, yeah, that's our last EP. I mean, we've been on comps and remixes and stuff, but yeah, our last EP came out in 2023. We have you explain. I don't want to overstep what I'm supposed to. I feel like, who's that? The chimney sweep who they pretend is Spider-Man?
I don't know.
No, that kid he plays Spider-Man, and they're like, yeah, he's from the Bronx. I'm like, look at him. He looks so English. Tom Holland.
Oh God.
He does not look like he's from New York. That kid has an English bone structure. But he does that thing in interviews where he says something he's not supposed to say.
And his eyes get real big, and then he gets grounded.
Right. I don't want to upset Kevin Feige.
Yeah. So to not get into too much trouble, and see what's going to happen now is I'm going to say something, and then Ivan is going to be like, "You weren't supposed to do that. What the heck?" And he's going to look at me in the side eye. So yes, 2025 is going to have new Bellhead releases and new Bellhead music. I
hate to be that band that's like, big news coming soon, but big news coming soon.
You know what? We have music. We recorded. The album is finished. What I would say is that if people want to know when our releases are going to come out, to make sure you follow us on one of our 18 million social medias, because we will be sharing out some new music soon. And definitely we are going to be playing new material during our tour on all of our show dates too. So it's pretty exciting. It's nice to finally have a new release. And you're right, our last EP came out in 2023, and then in 2024 we came out with a music video for that, Bad Taste, and we kind of toured on that music video, and then toured on some of the other remixes and comps we're on. But definitely this year it's new music, new album. We have it'll be a lot of fun. Did I overstep?
No, I think
I did it. Gold star.
Good job. All right. So did you want to talk a little bit more about the upcoming tour you've got?
Oh man, yeah.
So excited.
We got We got dates.
Shows for days.
Oh,
You know what? We are a live band. You know, so there are some bands that are like, they can go into the studio and they'll write music and they will churn out new music all the time. And that's their skill set. And that's awesome. We are a live band. Like you coming to see us perform is definitely, I mean, I think most people enjoy it. I would say all people enjoy it.
oh,
That see us.
I would say
Yeah.
there's that one guy.
There's the one guy that's like,
but if you look, his foot is tapped.
Yeah.
You know.
So we love to perform, and the great thing about being in a two-piece band is that we don't have to sit there and try to coordinate schedules for like 10 different people.
Right.
So like we have this like calendar, and I'll just be like, hey Ivan, you know, are you free? And it's like, well, I don't see anything on the calendar, so I'm going to book it, and then I keep booking and booking and booking. So no, we have a good number of show dates already for 2025 lined up. A lot of them we're really excited about. And then yeah, I'm going to start kind of getting together our fall dates as well. So, you know, as a band, we average close to 30 days a year, which is a lot for a band. You know, a lot of bands won't do that potentially in their lifetime, right? And so we keep the machine burning pretty quick. But I don't know, Ivan can kind of talk about some of the shows coming up that we want.
I can rattle off.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah. So we're starting
if they want to.
Yeah, we're starting the year off home show at Reggie's with Ghost and Dead Register. Then we're going to Rockford. This show's special for us. It's the release show for the final Funeral March record. Our mate Joe, who was the frontman and brainchild of the band, passed away, and so this is sort of a bittersweet. You know, the record's done. It's coming out. We're going to do guest vocals. Some other people are going to be there. William Faith is going to be there, and it's really cool that, you know, we got to help get this over the finish line. You know,
and we have a remix on the EP as well.
Yes, cool. And the Tweakers on it as well with the remix. So then we're going to be in Louisville with Living Dead Girl and Black Season Witch. We're going to Indianapolis. Indy. Right, thank you. With Amulet and Until We Are Dust. We're going out to Kenosha, which I'm really excited about. Minneapolis, we're doing the Fireseek Festival. Yeah,
that was just announced yesterday, so it's going to be kind of an all-day festival, and tickets just went on sale for that too.
Yeah, and that's got a bunch of not only bands but like activities.
Yeah, like a photo booth and vendors. So it's gonna be kind of a really cool, different performers too. That'll be a lot of fun.
Urbana, we're doing the Bat Factory. We go back to Louisville. These are obviously further apart. You know, the dates are all on our website and all of our socials. So for the Radio Arcane, we're going to Cape Girardeau, which we've been to before, which is fantastic, with our mate Gary Roberts. We're going to Kansas City to play the new skate bar. We played the old skate bar. Then we come back to Chicago, doing Liars Club with the Skate Nigs, and then we're doing Milwaukee with the Skate Nigs and Choke Chain. We're going to Hamtramck to play
the Fixation Fest. That was
Detroit Hamtramck, and then we're playing the Steampunk Expo here in Chicago. And that
gets you to May.
That gets you to May. So, like, you know, it's a lot of, it's just like, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think what's so great about being, I mean, what I love being a touring band, and again, performing kind of all over the United States, is that you meet friends along the way.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, like Amulet is a great band that's on the East Coast, and we got to play with them last year at Vortex in Philly. DJ Mike Sagas does an event there, and we just fell in love with them, and they're just such great people. And so then they hit us up early this year. They're like, "Hey, we're going to be in the Midwest. Do you want to come to Indy?" And we're like, 100% we want to come
Yeah.
to Indy and see you. And it's like, now we get to hug our friends that we haven't seen for a few months. And the same with like, you know, Gary Robert in Community. So we've known Gary for a couple years and we met him in St. Louis. And so it's really cool to be able to kind of circle back and see your band friends, you're in your community and definitely, you know, Fixation, at Cats Fixation Fest. That's going to be a great one. So this is, I think it's the third year of Fixation in Detroit at Smalls. And, you know, sadly, kind of the founder, Kat, passed away. And so this is going to be a really beautiful event to kind of, you know, remember and honor Kat. Man, we're doing a lot of like sad, you know, you know, between Rockford and this, you know, kind of memorializing our friends, right? And
well, I would rather remember them than forget them.
Correct. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And, you know, Fixation is going to be, you know, it's wonderful bands there. It's a 2-day event. Our BFFs in Chicago, Club Drugs, they're playing on Friday. We're playing on Saturday. But then, you know, Assemblage 23 and Ego Likeness, you know, another Chicago band, Cyanodic is there. Alice from the West Coast.
I love them. They're cool.
You know, they're that's another, you know, we met them kind of along the way. And we were in Madison. And we played with them in Madison. And they made us food. It was like the sweetest.
That doesn't surprise me.
That band made me soup.
Yeah.
I love you.
They're like, do you want some homemade lentil soup? We bring our crock pot with us everywhere. So like, yeah, we kind of like quite literally broke bread with them in Madison.
And then we played.
Yeah.
So, and then the thing is like, so we play with bands that we know, you know, again and again, but then there are towns that we go through that we've been through before. So, you know, we have an existing group of, you know, fans and friends that we know there. So we'll see people again, you know, we're building relationships there. So that's always nice. You know, it's not just, we're going to blow through this town. You know, it's a bit of,
it's a lot of fun
connecting with people. Yeah.
So when you're out on the road touring, what's your favorite snack?
Snacks, South snacks.
Oh, you and your South snacks.
I have this thing. So we tend to tour a lot in like, we go south a lot. So we'll do Tennessee, you know, Kentucky. And I always dub it my South snacks because there's like some specific things that I can't get, you know, in Chicago. Like
spray paint.
Like spray paint. What's Bellhead's tour snacks? Spray paint sadness.
That's a good answer.
No, I have to have food on tour. It's I call them my dashboard bananas. I want a banana a day, and then I need beef jerky. And I prefer the chewy beef jerky over like the dry cardboard stuff.
Yeah.
In a sweeter type form. And then peanut M&Ms is my latest fixation.
It depends how long we're on the road, because the longer we're on the road, the weirder it gets. So I seem to remember, I think we were in New York when we finally broke into the questionable Kit Kat that I bought somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
So the longer we're out, the weirder like candy I will find. And I don't eat candy in real life, but I'll find a flavor that's like, this doesn't seem. We always do. We'll get like, do you want to have the blueberry pie Kit Kat? Yeah,
and
then it's something we split where it's like, oh, well, I'm going to eat this. You're going to.
We're going to suffer together as a band. That's what we're going to do.
I tend to find, though, the, you know, those.
Ivan likes pickles.
The pickles in a bag, they're like sweet or hot. And then there's like green beans in a bag sometimes.
I think like the snap ones.
Yeah. If I can come across those and you know, try not to spill pickle juice all over myself while I'm driving, you know, that's kind of key. There's a lot of like, I don't know,
pickles.
Yeah, I mean, the bananas key. Yeah.
I will tell you, like, so I mean, we've we've been doing this collectively and separately for a long time.
Yeah.
And so when we go on the road, we eat well and we eat healthy, and we don't fall into that. You know, a lot of times, and I don't want to assume, but there are bands that go out that will like eat like assholes, you know, and they're like, I'm gonna eat McDonald's every day, and you do get stuck in a situation from time to time where it's like there's literally nothing. But Ivan and I really make sure that we eat healthy to keep us fueled, because playing a tour and playing shows, Ivan likes to say it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And so you don't want to go in and be like, I'm going to get the fish fry, all you can eat fish fry special on day one. And then you got this brick in your gut and you feel like crap. And now you're expected to sing for 5 days. So we tend to eat, you know, we try to eat healthy. I mean, again, like I'm going to have my M&Ms, but like we're going to do the best we can.
And we'll also bring snacks with us. So like we'll get like the, you know, some peanuts, those like
Power Health
those bars that only have like 5 ingredients in them, so some beef sticks, and then there's like a bag that just has the community chest like snacks because it's cheaper than stopping to buy snacks all the time. And obviously if you want to break off and have your own snacks, but like who went to Aldi and picked up some snacks and then they just kind of go in the bag?
Yeah. We always have like a case of LaCroix or water with us.
I tend to bring a can of tuna or salmon or whatever because it upsets your husband so much if I have some sort of canned fish on the road. Yeah. It's always a good one. Last time I had the one that came with corn. Oh, God. Yeah.
Corn?
Tuna and corn in a can. Corn, See, like, I want you to know, like, this is what I suffer through as in a 2-piece band, is that I'm like, oh, you know what? I like bananas and I'm going to eat M&Ms. But you know what? No, Ivan eats pickles and tuna, and that's his snack.
To be fair, I don't eat the tuna on the road. And I think I've come to the point where I go, I've danced with this train too many times. I need to stop bringing this with because what happens if it becomes punctured in the vehicle? But it's been a gag for a bit, but it's like, okay, this has gone too far. Because I go to the old man store and get the old man things. You know, it's like the sardines and their own juices. Oh, you know, like that. Yeah, that kind of. But yeah, we try to eat as healthy as possible because eventually we're going to have that night where it's going to be, this is all we can get.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to give like the cleanest fuel you can.
Or they have a fried bologna sandwich on the menu. Sign me up.
Right. I got the fried bologna sandwich and then it was like, I can only eat so much of this. This was an odd choice I made. Yeah.
Food is definitely my love language. I'll talk about snacks all day.
I understand. Over in the comments, we have Darius saying, thank you for the shout out to the Funeral March show. We're going to make noise so loud that the gods will hear it.
Absolutely. We love Darius. Darius is, he's the other member, one of the other members of Funeral March, but Darius actually is putting this whole event together. And he's, you know, posthumously doing the EP release for Joe. You know, it was really Joe and Darius. Joe kind of was the founding member, and then it was Joe and Darius. And so Darius is taking this thing, you know, all the way through, and he's did so much work. And we're, you know, we're so incredibly proud of him, you know, of what he's doing, you know, not only for Joe, but for himself.
There's a lot of steps along the way to where you could just throw it up your hands.
And just like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. No, we will always love Funeral March and, you know, Darius so much. Yeah, it's going to be a great show in Rockford for sure. And we'll be like, can we put some like links in, like ticket link in the corner or something like later on at the end, but you can also hit up our socials. We have everything out there for those shows.
Yeah. I do believe down below in the video description is the link to their website and their Bandcamp. You should be able to find that stuff there.
Is that if I just point? That's what people do.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Leave a like and subscribe. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite song to play live?
One of our songs?
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't have to be. It could be, you know, covering something.
No.
No, I mean, I almost feel like my favorite song to play live is whatever song we're playing at that moment, you know, because the live part of the show. Okay, Karen said earlier, like this band is a live band,
Right.
but like our songs are written. We go home and we write parts, but the songs are built out in the rehearsal space. Like, you know, there's enough song to get it up on trucks, but they're really written. They're written in the rehearsal space. They're built in the rehearsal space, but then it's getting them in front of the audience,
Right.
and then playing with that audience. You know, that back and forth. And then what can I get away with? What can I do? Where can I go with this crowd? Where can I take them? You know, and then what will they give me back? And sometimes it's guff. You know, sometimes it's just like, this is not. You know, but sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's just weird. Like, do you remember that one girl who, after the show, was like, was she dancing and then going to the bathroom to vomit and then coming back and dancing?
Yes.
And you confirmed that was a thing.
100%.
She was doing that all night. It's like, that's new to me, you know. But you know, just the engagement with the crowd, you know, that kind of thing, and then it's what song is going to take them to the next, you know.
My favorite song to play is the favorite song of the crowd. You know, whatever makes them happy. But I think one of the many things that I love about our project and our band is that our songs are different. You know, so it's not like we're playing the same style for 45 minutes, and so every aspect of the song, like of all these different songs, I love. You know, like it's. Playing Bad Taste is fun because for me, I have to use a pick for that song, and I'm generally not a pick player. Or, you know, Unicorn Bones is a blast because we're literally switching lyrics line by line, and that's not necessarily an easy thing to try to do, you know, live. And so that's a lot of fun, and so it is challenging. And so, you know, I think all the songs are fun for me.
I think there's an element to kind of like, when the bass drops, there's a thing when you see the audience, like, okay, so we do a Prince cover, and it's short, it's sweet, it's very different in structure than the Prince song, but it's.
I mean, we covered "I Would Die for You."
Yeah,
it's out, it's on, you know, it's available,
and there's this wonderful part of playing it where you can watch an audience slowly come to realize what's happening
and what it is,
and it's that moment where they go, oh shit, is this a Prince song? And there's multiple things in our set that, like, when people who aren't familiar with our band, where they have that moment of going, did that just happen? And those moments are really exciting when you kind of like, you see people getting on board or going, what, you know, that are just truly to watch people get engaged, or to see people, you know, engage with their friend, or, you know, whoever they're there with, you know, as they kind of go, this is a ride that I'm on. Yeah. So that's always fun. And we have a lot of interacting with the crowd. It's not that we're playing, you know, just at them.
Yeah.
Right. It's with them. And so there's a lot of back and forth, because anytime I see pictures, I'm just like, that is the saltiest ham I've ever seen, you know, because I will get up there and do, you know, engage in every way possible to earn that, you know, reaction, you know, get that applause, go after that.
Our show is a party, and everybody is invited, and we are going to have a good time for sure.
Hey, over in the comments, what's up, Ken Magerman? Go check out his stuff, Sounds and Shadows.
Yay!
Yay, Bellhead.
Hi, Ken. Yeah, Ken's another one of those, like, you know, you meet along the way on the road and on touring, and I'm so excited. So
we're gonna play with
Ken's band. We're finally going to play with Ken's band, Amaranth. They're from Michigan, and so we're gonna be playing with them at Cat's Fixation on May 10th, and it's going to be so much fun sharing a stage with him. So we love you, Ken.
All right, this is my weird question of the day. If you were an ice cream, what flavor would you be?
Rum raisin.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I have a soft spot for, like, I guess we both do for just like old time flavors. Like if there is a butter pecan ice cream, like I will take that.
I'd be rum raisin.
Yeah, you would be rum raisin.
I'd be rum raisin.
Or salty. Like is there a salty ham ice cream flavor?
I wouldn't be anything that daring. I'd just be rum raisin. I would not be a flavor that does not previously exist. You know, like I guess or unless it's like there's like a sassafras. You know, like like without that restaurant we were at in Nashville where they put
the Underberg sodas.
Yeah, if they put Underbergs into ice cream, it would be that. It'd be like, why do you taste like 1883?
We want all the weird flavors. Yeah, so you're definitely rum raisin though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would probably go with I am okay with butter pecan.
Do you eat much ice cream?
I go through weird. I don't eat a lot of ice cream. You know when I like ice cream? When it's like 50 below out, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to Dairy Queen, and I'm gonna get a soft serve. Like
I understand. It's been like 20 degrees here the past week, and I've been sitting here eating Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, like that. I don't want ice cream when it's warm. I want it when it's freezing cold, and I have to go out, and it's miserable, and I hate it.
Yeah, I can't think of a time that we've had ice cream.
It's not a thing we do.
Oh no, wait, we
milkshakes
did.
though.
There was that time Dave lost his mind.
Oh yeah.
And I think that was right. It wasn't ice cream, it was milkshakes.
It was milkshakes.
Right.
Yeah. A good milkshake. Not a milkshake. We want a good solid malt.
Yeah.
Like a thick
in a malt shop.
From 1882, and we're gonna go to Woolworths at the 5 and dime.
Right. Yeah.
Shit, we are fucking old.
Yeah. with real malt, yeah, it's got to be. Yeah.
And then a glass of Ovaltine.
All right. You said you're on all the socials, right?
Yeah. That's all.
The best, like, if you do, it's Bellhead Band. So, so everything is kind of /Bellhead Band. Our website is bellheadband.com, and that kind of steers you everywhere. But again, you can do a quick Googles or go on Facebook. But Facebook, Instagram.
We're not hard to find.
Yeah.
All the main ones. I made a TikTok page. What? Yeah, we have a Blue Sky account now.
I don't know what that is.
Ivan communicates in carrier pigeons in Morse code, so I kind of handle a lot of the social medias.
One day I'm going to learn about AI, and I'm going to be like, Karen, did you know Steven Spielberg made this movie called AI? Yeah.
And then we're all of our music is available on all streaming platforms too. We always like to steer people to Bandcamp. Obviously, you can also buy physical. So we have CDs available and T-shirts and other merch on our Bandcamp as well.
Very nice shirts.
Very nice shirts.
Very nice shirts and hoodies.
Yeah.
As far as the merch plug goes, we're really into the fabric that our stuff is printed on.
We want good quality.
Yeah. So our shirts and hoodies are printed here in Chicago. And Karen and I went through a lot more effort than you would think to make sure that our shirts were comfortable and that you wanted to wear them. There's a water release process so that they're not.
It's not that rubbery, nasty stuff.
Because from having so many band shirts from playing, like being
going to concerts, playing with other bands. You get
that Hanes beefy tee with that like plastic on it. It's like, I don't want to wear that. I want people to wear our band shirt, and I want people to wear our hoodie, and it to be a thing that they wear out over time, So we make sure that our stuff is comfortable and then, priced affordably. We're not trying to rob the people of their fortunes on it. Everybody's on a budget.
Yeah, and again, kind of leaning back to coming and seeing us live. So we make sure that we have a number of things available. Because you want a souvenir. You go someplace and you want a thing, you want an item, and you want to take home and have that. And so we always make sure that we have a number of options available for kind of any kind of money. So if you want a hoodie, hoodies obviously are not cheap for anybody, but we have those available. But then also, our Good Intentions EP is only $5. Like that's one less drink, actually less than a drink at a bar at these days. And so we really try, our profit margins are very narrow because we want to make sure that people can have something and enjoy it. And really the payoff is that if someone's gonna buy our shirt and wear it, like that's more important for me than extra money, right? Like,
absolutely.
Well, part of the thing is to not do to have to change our prices everywhere we go. It's like, so if you're in a place that has a more depressed economy, there's still something available, and if you're in a place that has a higher economy, well, then buy two. So it works. So there, but there's always something, and then we always make sure that it's like we have stickers for free. So if somebody comes up with the merch and they're like, I spent all my money getting in, it's like, well, then take a sticker, sign up for the mailing list. Like that's not a big ask. Like we want to engage with people and not be like, well, you have no money. Good day, sir. That's not what this is about.
I said good day.
Right. Yeah. That is part of that audience that I'm engaging with, and that doesn't stop with the stage. That's like we don't squirrel away into the dressing room. We're going to be out on the floor by the merch table, talking to people, hanging out. I
think that's so important too for all bands to kind of to take note of and do, like, and that's for any band, be it ones that are just starting or bands that are doing massive tours. It's like your fans want to meet you. Like, I know you play a show and you're at the end of the night and you're tired, but go out and sign some autographs, shake some hands, say hi to people, engage in each other. And then also, support the other bands. Like it's nothing takes the steam out of you if you're playing a show and the band right before you packs up and leaves, or they go straight into the green room and they're not going to sit there and hang out with you. And I mean, because when you're on the road, as I mentioned before, like you're making friendships and you're making bonds across the United States, and you want to support, in order for our scene and for the music scene in general to be successful, we have to support each other. And so hang out, watch each other's stuff, buy each other's merch, and form these bonds and friendships.
Then the other thing is, you don't all have to do the same thing. Like Karen and I, there's only two of us, so we split up a lot. Karen will hit the merch first while I deal with some of the back end, getting the gear sorted, whatever, and then I'll meet Karen, and then it's like, okay, she can then break away from there, But whatever you need to do, it's not like, okay, you all have to stand there, but it's like, hey, I'm gonna go watch the band for a while you good here, like you don't have to be all five of you standing in a pack, but like because I see those,
but it's not much effort.
See those bands where it's like, oh, when they're done playing, they go wherever, and then the part of the crowd drifts out of the room with them. It's like, well, stay for the other band so that you don't take your crowd out of the room.
Right.
That's just a polite way of being like, if you're going to stay and talk to some people, do it in front of the other band so that the audience doesn't go away. Don't steal the thunder, right? Because they may not be there to see that band, but they definitely won't hear them if you take them out of that room.
Away.
Yeah. So, be mindful of that kind of thing and that engagement, because that's important to the friends we make along the way.
Over in the comments, my buddy Luke is saying you have very nice shirts. He wears it all the time, and he met you in Philly, and you couldn't be nicer.
Oh, well, thank you.
Awesome. That was with the
Vortex.
With the vendors, and that was with Amulet, right?
I cannot talk enough about that specific goth night.
The
DJs were phenomenal. Yeah. Again, DJ Mike Saga just puts out a killer event, and then there was us, there was Amulet. He had vendors there. It was just the bar was a lovely bar. But I'm so glad that and I missed the name. I'm sorry. Luke. Sorry. Thanks. I'm so glad that you love the shirt and that you enjoy it. And hopefully, if all things work out, we will be. Ivan's going to turn and be like, "We are," but I'm
we'll
be back.
Yeah,
we will come back to the East Coast. Hopefully, towards the end of the year.
All right. Awesome. I'm just take one quick moment to do a little housekeeping. The certain social media platforms, Meta, suck ass, and now live videos are only going to be up for a month. So if you want to watch this after a month or a past episode, go sub to my YouTube.
Perfect.
Oh, greetings from Dublin. Hello, Ireland.
Nice. Hi.
Hello.
All right. And last but not least, what message do you have for anybody who watches this? Or just what you've been saying anyway. But
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Solid advice.
No, I just thanks again for everybody. We do this. We enjoy doing this, but we do this for everybody, right? There would not be a music scene, there would not be live shows, there would not be a community without all of these lovely people coming to shows, listening to our music, doing the streams, so we do this for everyone, and I appreciate every single person kind of along the way that we meet, and hopefully everyone comes out and sees us this year on tour. So we have a good number of tour dates. We are going to keep booking. Shameless plug, if there's any promoters watching that want us to come to your town, definitely hit us up. Would love to make that work. And again, stay tuned for new music. We're
Big news coming soon.
No, I'm not. I refuse to big news come soon. That is what I'm going to say. Is like, if you are a band, stop big news coming soon. Yeah. Like, stop big news coming soon and buy insurance for your gear if you're a touring musician.
Yeah.
My two pet peeves. This is mom coming out now. Like, but no, we're excited about our EP coming out soon, and the new music we're going to be playing live. And just can't wait to see everybody and hang out this year.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.
If you want to hang out after the credits, you're welcome to hang out. Otherwise, yeah. Thank you. And I look forward to hearing your new EP whenever it comes out.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
Eric.
Bye.